Hello folks, welcome to the Grey Area. My name is Dr. Grey. I'm a medical doctor practicing in Nairobi, Kenya. I'm an ENT surgery resident. I'm a husband and a father. In my video, I discuss productivity majorly, but I also discuss other topics that build on productivity and general personal growth. In this video, I discuss how I create time for reading. For some of you, you might already know that I'm actually a big fan of reading. I love reading books, all kinds of books, fictional, non-fictional. As long as it's any book that can teach me something in life, I pick up a book anytime and I just start reading. And I enjoy reading so much. However, with my busy schedule of being a father, a doctor, a friend, and many other things that I do with my life, including business, sometimes it becomes very difficult to find the time to read. Somehow, some way, I've found a way to create time to read, and that I think is the most important thing, that you do create time to read. I think it's an important skill or necessary skill in life to help you grow. In books, there's a lot of wisdom and knowledge that you can extract from them. So it is very important for anyone out there to always keep reading. So today I share with you 5 tips that I use in reading. The very first tip is embrace technology. For a very long time, I've been a die-hard hard copy kind of guy. Hard copy. I only read hard copy books. But then this year I gave my first try to ebooks and audiobooks, and that has been a tremendous journey. The thing about ebooks is that they offer you a lot of convenience. You have it either on the palm of your hand, or you can actually easily access it from maybe your computer at work or computer at home, and it makes it very easy for you to read books on the go. The other thing is that I was recently introduced to audiobooks. Yeah, and audiobooks are amazing. I had mixed feelings, and perhaps in a future video I will tell you my first reactions or sentiments about audiobooks. But the thing about embracing technology is that it gives you a lot of convenience. You can access your books anywhere, anytime, without having to carry the physical books, which can be quite cumbersome sometimes and heavy, especially I think for gentlemen. I speak for gentlemen when I say when you don't have a backpack perhaps, and we don't really walk around with handbags, then it becomes very difficult to have your book on the go. The second thing is switch off the TV. Just switch off the TV. Easier said than done. There's a lot of entertainment that is available to us nowadays. The likes of Netflix, Showmax, and many others. The list goes on. But what I'll tell you is that I have learned that there's a lot of time you create when you actually switch off the TV and do something else. So sometimes I just come home, switch off the TV, and just jump into a book, and I get lost in it. But the other trick I think I should share with you is that I have a rule. If I start watching a new series or a new movie, I try as much as I can to binge watch the whole series and finish it from the beginning to the end, or at least finish one season of the series, so that I don't come home every day and I'm always catching up on where I left off. What I do is I binge watch, I finish the whole season or the whole series if it's possible, so that then it gives me time to now pick up a book, read before I start watching something else. So as a general rule, I don't stretch out the series that I watch. I try and watch everything at once, then give it a pause, read a book, then as a reward I can watch another season or series. Third is read. I read on the commute or travel when I'm traveling. So for example, if I'm using the bus or matatu to get to my place of work, I read during that time. Sometimes I just put on my earphones, listen to some jazz music or music that won't really distract me, and I read on my way to wherever I'm going. Most of the times it's when I'm going to school. And that I found out that I'm able to cover maybe 10-20 pages of a book, which over time adds up to a significant amount of time, and you can cover enough ground on your commute. I also enjoy reading when I'm traveling to places, maybe abroad on my flight there, or even local flights, the 1-2 hours, or for the long flights, the 8 hours or more. I really enjoy reading on them. And I think one of the memorable things, or one of the memorable books that I read on a flight is Atomic Habits. I read Atomic Habits while traveling to Dubai on a 6-hour flight, and I think I read half the book on that 6-hour flight, and I still remember the lessons that I've carried from that book. I also read perhaps on train rides, or again when I've traveled on the metro rides, I pick up a book and read. But sometimes I get really distracted, especially if I'm in a foreign country and I'm trying to see the sights and capture some of the sounds of the new place I am in. I get very distracted. But if it is a route I've used a couple of times, then it is easy for me to read. At least on the second or the third time I'm on the same route. The fourth thing I do is I walk around with a book. Almost always, you'll always find me with a pen, a notebook, and a book that I'm currently reading. The important thing about that is that I often find what I call idling time. So say for example, I'm seated in a coffee shop waiting for someone I'm meeting. I will use that time to read the book that I have at that time. Sometimes it's in between classes, so from one class to the next class, maybe the lecturer delays or there's a bit of a delay between the two classes. I can use that time to read a book. Sometimes I'm on lunch break and I'm alone and I'm not really talking to friends or colleagues, then I can use that time to read. Sometimes at work, when I'm at work and it's not very busy, so I've seen one patient and I've done whatever I need to do for the patient, and I'm seated waiting for the next patient to come in or something like that, then I can use that time to read a book. The important thing is that if I didn't have that book with me at that particular time, then I wouldn't have used that opportunity to read the book. So it's very important that you walk around with the book. Again, I know the challenges of that is that sometimes you're reading a very bulky book and it becomes very difficult to walk around with a book. But my advice is that get a small book. There are many nice small books, handy books. I think the one that I'm currently reading is And the Mountains Echoed. And it's a small book. It's a pretty small book. It can fit in the pocket of my scrubs. And it's a very interesting book, so I can actually just whip it out in between patients, read it when a patient comes in, and I can put it back in my pocket and continue with my work or see the next patient. Finally, reduce the amount of time you spend on social media. I have a video where I share how I get my social media habits in check. You can check that out, or I'll tag it in this particular video so that you can watch it and see what tricks I use. But what I wanted to discuss is that once I got my social media habits in check, I was able to create an extra hour every day out of my time, which I can use to read. So that totals to about 7 hours in a week, if you count the week as 7 days. And in 7 hours a week, depending on your speed or how fast you read or how slow you read, you can actually finish a whole book in 7 hours. Or the other way to think about it is that you can listen to an audiobook in those 7 hours and complete an audiobook. The most effective way of employing this trick would be that as you switch from social media, have the electronic books or audiobooks on your phone or your device. So I know there's always a habit where you reach out to your phone during your idling time, and at that time the first thing that comes to you is, hey, let me check out what guys are doing out there on social media. So you check your Instagram, your Facebook, your Twitter and whatnot. But what you do is replace that with perhaps an audiobook or an ebook. So you can quickly go to Kindle and read a book, or you can go to audiobooks and listen to a book during that time instead of going on social media. Thank you for watching the video. I'll tag the video on how I tame my social media habits, and please check out the other videos that I have on my channel. Please remember to subscribe, hit the notification button and like this video. Thank you for tuning in. See you in the next video.